I'm Kim Evans, and thank you for watching this Kim Jones. Stay humble. This will be the third year of my King Dad, King Joe, not being with us on this Father's Day. And I wanted to do this short series with some of the top-notch conversations me and my dad would share. I'm Kim Evans. I actually had the honor of being raised by my dad. My mom was always in the picture, but I stayed with my dad, visited my mother on the weekends. And my dad was such a mentor. He was such a coach. He was such a king. He was a man of valor. And we would always have these beautiful mentoring coaching sessions. One thing when I look back, and I can thank God for him giving me such an intelligent dad. Fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, and a man who upheld his faith and he believed in the Lord, and he taught his kids how to do the same. So with that being said, I want to table this as be humble. My father used to tell me all the time, Kim, I know you're like a book. Because he did raise me, right? I know you're like a book. I could tell you what you think before you say. I could tell the actions you're going to do before you act it out. And I would be like, this man is crazy. And I always loved his knowledge. And so when I look back on this Father's Day, and I thank God from my heart, not having him here, but I think more importantly, God for giving me such a beautiful man of God. To just lead up a child, and he shall go, and he will never depart from the path and the words of God. So my dad would always just say, Kim, stay humble. Stay humble. And I was like, and I was going, I'd be like, what are you going with that? He said, you're going to learn, you're going to know one day, stay humble. And he would always tell me, he says, Kim, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you are a leader, you're not a follower, but I want you to stay humble. You get all these compliments from people, from friends and from family, that you're beautiful and you're witty and you're this and you're that and you're that, but do not ever let that go to your head. I used to think what's the problem? I mean, it's a compliment. I mean, what's going on? He says, no, because you ain't no better than anybody else. We all have to work hard. You're going to work even harder because you're black. And I want you to grow up and I want you to get a degree and you got to work harder because of who you are. And I'm like, okay, Dad. But in all that, stay humble. Because you never know the next person can knock you off your pedestal. So stay humble and also stay discreet. Stay humble, stay discreet, but know that you're not always on top all the time. Now, he wasn't trying to say negate me not working hard or being intelligent, but what he was saying, don't be prideful just because you're cute. Don't be prideful because people tell you that you're beautiful. Don't be prideful because people give you compliments. Always know whose you are. Okay, because the minute that your pride gets ahead of you, you can quickly get knocked off. And pride comes before the fall, okay? And God does not like a prideful spirit. You're going to learn. But I'm trying to teach you now so you learn the easy way and not the hard way. See, that's how my dad had a way of loving me. He would tell me these things in good parables in the Bible. Humble thyself. Humble thyself. And I never forgot that. So all my growing up, and all the compliments and things that people would say, I never took it to my head. I would just say thank you. It comes from the Father. It comes from above. Let me tell you two things. And the thing he would always say, Kim, you have gorgeous eyes. I know people make fun of them, but God made your eyes beautiful. And trust me, when you get older, they will be one of your greatest assets. So don't be dismayed. Don't be disheartened. Don't feel bullied. And you know what? When he spoke those words in me, and my family would tease me growing up because they have all kinds of synonymous names, from my eyes even to this day. It never really bothered me because I knew whose I was. I knew that God made me in his own specific way with everything on my body. And because my dad always reassured it, He always told me I was beautiful. He always told me I was intelligent. He said the only person that you need to hear that from is me. You don't need another man to say that. He could co-sign, but you don't need another man to say that. I'm telling it to you every single day, from my mouth to your ears, who you are, whose you are. I said, well, and the beautiful characteristics that you are, but don't get stuck on that. And to know that God made you that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So stay humble. And he raised me that way. He taught me that way. So when I walk into a room and it's just like, oh, this accolades, it's God. It's not me. It's God. When people is like in your business, not me, it's God. Stay humble. The second thing, my conversations my dad would say, in that humble, staying with humility, and God loves that. Not false humility, but staying humble, is be content in all thy ways. He said, Kim, I know sometimes you can be very emotional. I'm growing out of that. I've grown out of that. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You never know what color it is to determine your emotions. That shouldn't be. And you will grow to believe is to stay complacent. In all your ways, be content. Be content in everything. It's not the emotional that drives you. It's not the motivation that drives you. It's the discipline that will sustain you. In all your ways, stay content. And then the third thing that my conversations that my dad would always have is just learn to love one another. Keep love at the forefront. And I love what my dad, because I saw it, I lived it, I became it, I am that. And he would say, even when your brothers and sisters, you guys are at all, the word says you still have to love. And one thing that I know my dad always said, blood is thicker than water. And at the end of the years of his life, he would call them vipers and scorpions and snakes and you liar. Anybody knew my dad at the end, you liar. And he would just call a spade a spade. He would go call you out. That's just the way my dad was. But at the end of it, he still loved greater. All things and everybody, including his siblings. No matter how crazy they are, or no matter how crazy they act, my dad loved his siblings. But not only that, he taught me that too. If you're the eldest in your family, I'm the eldest with my siblings, it's like you cannot respond to their ignorance or whatever that's going on with them. You have to stay above that and still continue to love. I'm not saying to be used. I'm saying you still have to love. So those are my Kim Gems for today, is to be humble. No matter how high you go, somebody can always knock you off your pedestal. But if you know whose you are and what you are, and you keep yourself and God at the center, and in all your ways be content in all things, and to love selfless, not selfish, selfless, you're going to be all right. So those were some of the beautiful words, conversations from my dad. And as we enter into this Sunday, celebrating the kings and beautiful men in our lives, happy Father's Day. And I will continue to reminisce and to remember my King Dad. Bye for now. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm Kim Evans, mentor, business coach, and podcast host. And if you would like to know more on how I can help you, Lady Boss, you can go to kimgems.com. This season, summer, I'm offering Amplify. Amplify is my virtual VIP one day where we walk, coach, and talk. And we pick a locale. We meet for 90 minutes and we work on one particular area in your business where you need immediate help and growth and innovation, elevation, and ascension. And let's make June your highest sales month ever. This is Kim Evans. Comment, amplify if you would like to know more. And if you would like to know some of the other coaching opportunities that I have, like my Business Accelerator, absolutely fantastic. For greater support, go to kimgems.com. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens that no longer have a father, or if you still have your father here, or the significant king or male figure in your life, have a great, happy Father's Day this weekend. Bye for now.